All right, so here's an example of kind of the whole process of doing an ambigram. So I'm going to start in GeoGebra. I'm going to choose kind of a simple word. I found a design that I'm kind of copying from. I'm going to write the word hey. All right, so once you have your figure drawn, then I'm going to go ahead and click on the point tool, and I'm going to add some points to my grid. And I have to add 15. $13, $14, and $15. So notice I tried to add them where they fall on the grid line so it'll be easier to find the actual point. So I have my points and I have my grid here, and I can zoom out a little bit so we can kind of see what's going to happen next. I'm going to add a point at the origin, so I have a point that I can rotate it around. So I'll click point and I can click on the origin. I'm probably going to zoom in for this. So that way we can add a point P at the origin to rotate around. I'm going to click rotate around a point. I'm going to select the object. So once I click rotate around the point, I'm going to select the letter H and then click the point. And then I'm going to type in 180 and OK. So that will change the first H, and then I'm going to have to do that with each part of the letter. So I'm going to zoom in so I make sure I'm selecting the correct thing. I'm selecting the E, and then I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. All right, I'm going to select the top part of the E, and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. And last, I'm going to select the Y and then click the point so I can rotate it 180 degrees. All right, if I zoom out here, you should see that we have hey written here and then hey written here. It's upside down. So we have both of these. If you want to hide the toolbar so you can kind of like take a better picture, you can definitely do that. You can click the side, and then I have my picture here. So I am going to, my settings bar disappeared, and if that happens to you, you can just take a screenshot. And I'm going to take a screenshot and select this area, and then I'm going to go over to my document and I'm going to paste my picture in the document. So I have my picture now is going to paste right here. There we go. So there's the picture of what I have on GeoGebra. And now the other part that some people were confused on is finding the points. So I've got to look at the change that happened here. So what I'm going to do is, for example, my label, I'm going to go with my first point is A. And the coordinates of A, so remember, if you want to click on it, you can open up this toolbar again and then click on the move button. And then if I click on point A, I can click show value if I want the point. So it's about at 1, 2. So I can look over at 1, 2, and I'm going to put in my point 1, 2 here. And then my image of where point A ended up, A was here at the intersection, and that point ended up here at -1, -2. So if we're continuing, we're looking at point A that started here and then it ended up going down here to the next point, and we can look at that in a way. So we had from point A down here, and then A ended up here at -1, -2. And if you notice, what's going to happen with the points is they're going to stay the same value. They're just going to change the negative. So I'm going to do the same thing with point B. I'm going to look on my graph that B is over here. If I'm kind of clicking on this area, you can see where point B is right here. So that's 1, 0. And then if I follow the same logic with what's happening in the formula, it's going to turn into -1. And since 0 isn't negative or positive, it's going to be -1, 0. So I'm going to repeat that with every single point that's in my grid here. I'm going to do that with all the points. You can round. You don't have to write this whole number. You can round to the nearest whole number and follow the formula. So I've got that. I wrote down how I rotated at the top. I've pasted my picture here. This is where the notes from my document are going to go. You can find the document by going to the top and clicking on Read the Document Attached. You're just going to take a few notes and write a summary. And then if we scroll down, so I have my points, I have my image, I have my file in here. And then I'm going to write the paragraph and I'm going to explain. So the things that I'm going to explain in the paragraph are right here in number 6 on the top. So how do I know this is an ambigram? I know mine is an ambigram because it looks the same upside down and right ways up. It says hey both times. What's the degrees and direction of rotation? I did 180 degrees counterclockwise. Does my figure have any other degrees of rotational symmetry? No, this word's not going to look the same unless it's right ways up or upside down. And I know that because I can try to rotate it and I can turn my head and see that it's going to look different. And then is it a rigid motion? Yeah, it's a rotation. It looks exactly the same. But it is a rigid motion. All we did was move. I didn't change the size or anything of the figure. I'm just turning the way it looks. So that will be my paragraph. And then when I'm finished with that, I'll type my paragraph in there. I'm going to make a flip grid and just explain what I said in my paragraph. So my video would probably be like of me showing my screen, showing the ambigram drawing that I did. And then I'm just going to explain the process of what I did. I'm going to talk about everything in my paragraph. And then I might say why I chose the word. I chose hey because I love drawing Y's in cursive, and so it allowed me to draw a cursive Y. That's kind of it. But that's kind of an explanation of like what we should have done or be doing right now.